What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the Brew Lab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight in the Brew Lab, I'm coming at you with a brand new meta deck that's come out of nowhere. If you had loaded up untapped.gg yesterday, this deck would not have been here. So whenever something like this happens, I like to jump in front of the camera and get it out as soon as possible because I want you guys to also enjoy from these fantastic win rates. I'm not going to show you the deck here in Untapped, of course. I've already net decked it and I've got it loaded up in my client. So without any further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. Boros Burn. I've left it unedited. It's exactly the deck from the website, but at first glance, there's already a few adjustments that I would like to make. Like usual, BrewLab style, any adjustments that I do make will be reflected in the deck list that you can find in the video description down below for you guys to go copy and enjoy. But for now, let's just play it as is. I've had a couple test matches, but that's about it. So I would like to take this on the unranked ladder for a bit of a spin. And then if things start to feel good, we will jump onto the ranked ladder. I have climbed my way into Diamond 2, so I don't want to risk too much, especially with a deck that I haven't played much of. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's jump right into it. We've got a full playset of Hopeful Initiate. Makes perfect sense in a modified deck. It can modify itself quite quickly with the training mechanic, and then it's great against Naya runes and various enchantment decks because you can pay 3 mana, 2 colorless, 1 white, remove 2 +1/+1 counters from among creatures you control. It doesn't have to be it. You can just take them from wherever you deem necessary, and you can destroy target artifact or enchantment. This has won me plenty of games against Naya runes, so again, worth its weight in gold, especially with the cross synergies with the modified mechanic. Then we've got a full playset of Kumano faces Kakkazan. Doesn't need to be reintroduced really, just a fantastic one drop again, especially in modified decks. But I'm really like the main thing, now having played the card a lot, the etchings. Once it flips into the etching, that exile instead clause there is just amazing. You can play with fire, a eye twitch. Sorry, you're not going to be learning anymore. You can play with fire. They're shambling ghast. Sorry, no treasures, no -1/-1. Like just getting rid of death triggers on things like that is just fantastic. So yeah, makes perfect sense. Full playset of Kumano. Then we've gone for, they've gone, or whoever made this deck went with a full playset of Play with Fire, and again, makes perfect sense. That added little bit of reach in an aggro deck, being able to go face, great. The fact that you can scry when you do, great. It's also ring backable from the graveyard with Bloodthirsty Adversary, so just all around fantastic. The alternative would have been something like Strangle, or the other one, Flame Blessed Bolt, which also does 2 damage instant speed, but it's only to creature or planeswalker. So again, in an aggro deck, I think still Play with Fire is the way to go. Then Luminarch Aspirant, full playset, modified deck, great 2-drop, Boros colors. Why wouldn't you play Luminarch Aspirant? Makes perfect sense. The one tiny modification I made to the list from the original on the website is I went down 1 adversary, up 1 stance. Lately, the Righteous Valkyrie has just been dominating, right? It's back in full force because of Giada, and it has 4 toughness. Play with Fire, Roil Eruption, they can't deal with the Righteous Valkyrie. Valorous Stance can. And the versatility of being able to give one of your creatures indestructible is just, it's great. And again, it's another thing that you can bring back with the adversary from the graveyard because it's mana value 3 or less. So it just makes perfect sense, in my opinion, to trim something and go at least up to 2 instead of just the 1 from the original list. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I've got a few other modifications that I've got up here in my noggin that are coming your way probably around game 2, game 3. We'll start making some BrewLabifications. Then we've got a full playset of Roil Eruption. Again, it's Boros Burn, so I get it. They want to have that additional reach. It's like aggro plan. If that doesn't make it all the way to 20, we can also sling spells at your face. The problem I have with Roil Eruption is if you ever get it back from the graveyard with Adversary, you're never going to be able to kick it as well. You need 10 mana to do that. So most of the time, it's only ever really going to be doing 3 damage the entire game. Like, even if it's not the adversary getting it back, but you're just trying to kick it organically, or, you know, hard cast it with kick here, that's 7 mana. Like, we're probably not going to be getting to turn 7 in the majority of the matches with the deck. So, really, this tops out at 3. And it's a reason why a lot of people are also running Thundering Rebuke now instead, and one of the edits that I would probably like to make is something along these lines and go for a couple Thundering Rebukes for that Righteous Valkyrie, but we'll see how the deck performs and make some adjustments along the way, as I've mentioned now a few times. Then, more removal. Brutal Cathar, stapled onto a body, so it exiles something. It's also a 2/2. We've seen this a lot. Now, having played lots of mono white since this card came into standard, I consider myself to be a little bit of an expert in manipulating the day-night cycle so that we can get the maximum value out of this Brutal Cathar. Yeah, that's really nothing much that needs to be said more about it. If you can keep growing it with your Luminarch Aspirant, the Moonrage Brute is great, and then eventually you play 2 cards on your turn, it flips. It de-incentivizes the opponent from double casting on their turn, because then it'll flip. So many cool play lines with this card, and then it's going to be a thing for a while because it's not rotating out in September. Then we've got full play set of Sunrise Cavalier. This is another card that I would have usually omitted in this type of deck. I usually was running things like Reckless Stormseeker, or the Giant that has Kicker, the Shatter Skull Charger. We're usually taking up the slot in my Boros aggro decks. But I like this new addition. It's got haste, like they all do, which is great. It's also got trample, which is really nice. And whenever it flips between night and day, you put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control. It doesn't have to be onto the Sunrise Cavalier itself, which means between the Luminarch Aspirant, the Sunrise Cavalier, and Thundering Raiju, which also puts +1/+1 counters on target creatures, that's quite a lot of +1/+1 countering going on, so I get it. And the play line where you go something like Kumano turn 1, Aspirant turn 2, Sunrise Cavalier turn 3, that's 9 damage on turn 3. Really, really quick. So I get it. Again, I won't mention the modifications now. We'll make them along the way, and I hope you agree with me, and I'd love to hear all your thoughts in the comments as usual. But then the deck just tops out with Thundering Raiju at the very, very top end, which is why I think whoever made this deck was okay cutting a land, going down to 23 instead of the usual 24. Talking about the lands, also some interesting choices. I would probably have done things a little bit differently, but it's just a lot of basics. Lots of basics. I can see a situation where we just have like only planes in hand. We're not drawing any of our duels or mountains, and we can't cast any of our red spells. But again, not going to question whoever made this deck's decisions. We'll just have to keep playing it and see how it performs and make some adjustments if we feel that that's the way to go. But I can also see why only 2 Sundown Passes. You don't want to getting a tap land like at the crucial moment when you're about to play a Thundering Raiju. So there's only 4 real tap lands with the Den of the Bugbears. That makes it probably a lot easier to play out all your stuff without any tap lands on curve. So I get it. Then just 2 dens and some duels. Boros Burn, brand new deck, out of nowhere. Let's jump into some games. Like I said, we'll play some unranked to begin with, just to get a little bit of a warm-up, and then make some adjustments, and then we'll try to take it for a spin on the ranked ladder if it's performing to standard, or, you know, performing as I would like it to. Getting me some sweet, sweet wins. I've clawed my way into, I think I'm sitting on like Diamond 2 and a few wins, like almost Diamond 1. So I don't want to be risking playing a brand new deck that I'm not good at in that situation. Ooh, we've got the turn 1 turn 2 thing lined up nicely here. The win rates are ridiculous. Some of the decks on Untapped there have got like upwards of 1,000 matches on them, and it's still sitting on like 69 or something % win rate. It's really good, man. It's really good. Pardon me. Let's see now. Roil Eruption can't deal with the egg. I see that as a problem. Play with fire would have been so good there. Okay, now probably counter spells. Yeah. Something. And like, there's no... Okay, I guess, yeah, you could remove your own etchings. Good point. Cinderclasm? I don't know if that's the best idea. I get to recast the Kumano. I'm all for that. Blocks the 2/2, takes 4. Are you kidding me? Sure, mate. Sure thing. I'm gonna Roil Eruption your ass. And replay my Kumano. Oh, boom. I hate Izzet so much. I hate a lot of decks. I'm starting to realize I say that a lot, but... Hating Hope. Get stuffed, mate. No, wait. Did you not get your 5th land for your Goldspan Dragon? Oh, I feel so bad for you. Not. Could be burned on the house, unfortunately. Okay. Cool. Got him. Off you go, is it? Boring, boring, boring deck. Hasn't changed much in a while. Still would rather play that than Naya Runes any day of the week. Alright, so game 1 went pretty good. Felt the limitations of the removal there, though. You know, another great target for Thundering Rebuke or Valorous Stance. The Roil Eruption cannot deal with. Sure. Sean, not Sean. Nice. I also quite like exiling something with Brutal Cathar on top of the chapter from oh, that was a misplay. Whoops. Oops. My cards rearranged themselves when I was doing that, and I clicked the wrong thing. I was supposed to play the Initiate. So a huge mistake. Imagine he had the boon of whatever, the shield counter thing. The Initiate or the Brute? Either way I'm okay, because he takes an additional 3.
My judgment is fine.
Cool, cool, cool. Should have known there was an Emperor. All we need is play with fire or something.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Easy peasy. Took me a little while to figure that one out. But that was a lot easier than I thought. Alright. Nice. Cool. Again, the limitations of that removal. Like, sure, we were able to go face, which actually just won us the game, but 4 toughness, can't deal with it. That's the majority of the 3 drops in the format. So, were I to make any adjustments, I would start with this. First of all, Rem Karolus something. Boros guy. If a spell would deal damage to another permanent you control, prevent that damage. If a spell would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 1 instead. It's flying, haste, 3 drop. So hey, let's drop 1 Cavalier, go up 1 Karolus. Just a spicy one of. Then, down, down. Let's get some Thundering Rebukes in here. I think that is the way to go about things. And bam. Yeah? 1 Eiganjo, 1 Sokenzan. That makes me feel a lot better about the deck. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, but that makes me feel a lot better about the deck. Let's jump into some games. Again, probably unranked, maybe 1 more just to see if my adjustments make sense, and then we'll take it for a spin on the ranked ladder. How are we doing for time? Fantastic. I'm gonna go a bit shorter tonight, guys. It's yeah, long story, but basically like one of my best friends passed away now, like I want to say 4 years ago or something, and today would have been his birthday, and I did get a little bit drunk and poured out a few drinks for my long lost brother, and you know, so it's been a long day. I have a bit of a headache. I was a bit sad. I want to just take a bit of an early night. Okay, here come Sunrise Cavalier, sorry. I like that it kind of starts this day-night cycle. It's an additional thing in this deck that we're playing with this day-night cycle alongside the Cathar. Okay, never mind. Brakwarg. Imagine he Brutal Cathars it, then we can Brutal Cathar his Brutal Cathar. I always love those. Ooh, even better. Ah, I forgot he gains a life for that. Let's start modifying some things. Brakgwar. Okay, I would have maybe gotten back my Righteous Valkyrie, but that's obviously entirely up to you, my dear fellow. We are tapped out, but also set up for a pretty good win there. Nice that we get to flip these. Actually, we can go full send. Worst case scenario, we can activate the cave, but unnecessary. Alright, so that feels pretty good. I mean, that's how many wins in a row? Sure, it's unranked, but it feels pretty good. The win rates are showing some good performance on Untapped, so I think it's about time we take this for a spin on the rank ladder. Lord Xander used to be an assassin and artist in Old Capenna, but nowadays the retired vampire. I think it says something like, oh, talk about, speak of the devil. Very nice. 1-2 punch. Ready for action. Big Kahuna. 2034. Debating whether Luminarch was better or worse. I think we're trying to be very aggressive, and this is probably the way to go about it. Now we can put the counter on the etching, swing for 6 on turn 3. Opponent has nothing down yet. At all. Ooh, so brutal. You're going to want to take the Aspirant, because it's putting counters on things. But I've got another one. Okay, that's enough lands now. Thank you very much. Man, this deck is good. Thundering Raiju off the top will just seal the deal. That's unfortunate. It's pretty nice. Also, because we can just activate the cave next turn, so I'm just gonna keep applying the pressure here. I thought he would activate the Seeker's Chariot, but probably has a backup one in hand. Any of our removal now would just be amazing. Cave, I beg your pardon, Roil Eruption or Play with Fire will just two-face, bye-bye, game over. So I'm starting to see a little bit more sense here and the deck. You're dead, regardless what you do. There we go. Let's be cheeky and just go like this. Wow, that was a lot of lands. El Fludder, but we still managed to eke one out. Very nice. I'm even thinking to like bump up that Rem Karolus to 2 of, because that fact that you know your burn spells do an additional 1 means that your Roil Eruption does 4 instead of 3. I'm surprised no one thought about that in this list. I'm definitely going to bump up Rem Karolus to a 2 of. A 2 and 2 split. Or maybe even Brutal Cathar. That's terrible. No white source, mostly white cards. Yay! Okay, at least we get to scry, potentially. Okay, now we definitely getting rid of the wood. Please give me white. Oh yay, baby! Except now I'm worried about counter spells. Nope. Okay. I wonder. Probably more of a tempo deck. There's definitely counters, stuff like Spell Pierce and whatever, but yeah, this is definitely full-on blue tempo. So they've got 2 mana available, 1 blue, 1 colorless. Oof. If it's Jawari, at least we're ready. Okay, very nice. Fixating in a stadium. Really? In a tempo deck? That's outmannering us quite. At least they often let it go back to night. Or day or whatever. Okay. That's an interesting choice. I have not seen that card yet at all. You block with the fishy. Slip out the back. Interesting deck, man. I kind of really like it, honestly. These tempo decks have slowly been the best one hasn't really solidified out of the meta yet, but the Virtuoso definitely seems to be a crucial element. That's really annoying, man. Woohoo, baby! You have got to be shitting me, dude. Sure. Second copy of Sleep with the Fishes. A 4-mana aura. Casualty counter spell. Make disappear. Honestly, very surprised. Is there a Doomscar that I'm not aware of here? I mean, we've got a Den of the Bugbear that we can activate. Oops. Got him. Hey, that's 2 back-to-back victories in ranked. Climbing nicely. Let's try slip in one more Rem Karolus and see what happens. I want to play that card. I haven't played it ever. It's got haste, fits the theme, it's burn, does extra burn damage. Kind of fixes the problem with the Roil Eruption. The only question here is, do we do this or do we do this? I think we probably do this. Yeah? Yeah. I like. Let's go. You're freaky. You're freaky, man. You're so freaky, man. Hey, man. Okay, so we got one in our opening hand, but we don't have a 2-drop for the Kumano. But the opponent, we're on the draw. We might draw one. I think I'm gonna keep this. Might be a bad idea, but let's give it a whirl, shall we? Pass first. Oh, we had something there. I'm hoping it's like a ninja tempo deck. Okay, no. Maybe Grixis. Maybe just... Oh, no. You are not allowed to reanimate that, you nasty, nasty person. Sure. Please, hurry up. Let me do my thing. Excuse me? Oh, another. Doesn't affect it, unfortunately. God. Real charming fellow. This one is probably going to slip out of our reach. If he reanimates the Hullbreaker now, we just concede. Wow, that's annoying. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god, I hate these decks so much. Anyone who plays Hullbreaker Horror, you should just unsubscribe from the Brew Lab now. You are not welcome here. Wow, that's a lot of land. It's enough to reanimate anything, really. That's so nice. He might even scoop. Sure. Imagine he has another one in hand. He's got something. Wow, what an ass. Are you kidding me, mate? Ward 3. Yeah, I know I don't have the ward. I'm hoping he's gonna let it flip. There we go. We still don't have the freaking ward. Yeah. Trying to get to that, like, overwhelming board state situation. If he reanimates a Hullbreaker, we just concede straight away. What is this? Ooh. That's just great. That is just fan-freaking-tastic. Oops. Fuck you. Yes. Yes. God, there's nothing I enjoy more than beating a stinky control pile like this with Hullbreaker Horror of all things. Mwah. That was beautiful. I think we're going to leave it at that. 41 minutes in, that's absolutely perfect. The edits there were pretty good. I liked Karolus. He made an appearance there in the end, and didn't really do... If only what he said there about stopping damage also affected himself and not just your other creatures, it would be that much better. But I still think the fact that it can make the main problem that I have with the deck become not a problem is really quite fantastic. It might even be okay to trim the rebukes and go back to 4 and 4 of these other 2 removal spells, because it does damage +1. So your Roil Eruption now does 4, and that's okay against Righteous Valkyrie and all of that stuff. But all in all, I think we lost maybe one match the entire night. Sure, a lot of it was an unranked, and we tried a few different versions, but this is how I would play it if I were you. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, but that's going to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all tomorrow with some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the Brew Lab, signing out. Peace, y'all.